Fromania Bricks, and welcome back to the world's fanciest LEGO recording studio in our house on the second floor.
In this room!
And welcome back to the LEGO office, where in front of us you see not one, but two Tudor Corners, which means it is time for another SPUPLR.
Yes!
It is time to pull out and dust off the Fromania Bricks super proprietary, ultra precise LEGO review system and SPUPLR these two sets with you.
Yes.
Just like you saw when Micah and Caleb did the Skeleton Crew review, Caleb and I are going to sit together with our two sets and we're going to do an average score to give you a total SPUPLR.
Yes.
Now, Caleb, we can't sit here with two LEGO sets in front of us called Tudor Corner without some fart jokes.
Oh,
I mean, there's no other place that I can go as a father. I have done you a disservice if I don't go here. So I am sorry for the crude nature of what's about to happen. But Caleb, do you know why you don't fart in elevators?
Why?
It is so wrong on so many levels.
That was actually really good.
Caleb, why should you never fart in an Apple store?
I don't know.
They don't have windows. What does Woody say when he has bad gas?
I don't know.
Darn tootin'. All right, last one, Caleb. What do you call a dinosaur fart?
I don't know.
A blast from the past. All right, enough of the stinky jokes today at Fromania Bricks Lego table. We're really here to talk about these two non-stinky Lego sets.
Yes.
Which is the Tudor Corner. Caleb has been deep in the modular world now. Most of the modulars in our collection are Caleb's with the exception of a few of them. Which means that one day, when you grow up and you move out, all my modulars are gone too.
Oh, sad.
So,
that's really sad.
It's terribly sad. And to stave off my sadness, I decided I wanted Tudor Corner as well because it is such a beautiful modular that I didn't want to lose mine when you grow up and forget all about poor old dad sitting at home with his Lego bricks.
I won't, no.
So we got two Tudor Corners. The original plan was for me to keep mine sealed in the box and to build it when your mom and I are lonely old people without you. But you wanted to build and experience it with me.
Yes.
So I ripped open the box and we built it together. This set was new in 2025, so brand spanking new. It was 3,266 Lego elements.
I don't remember, but I'm sure that's right.
It retailed for $229.99. Honestly, let's just say 230 people. Save yourself the ink on your things and just put 230 and be done with it.
Yeah.
Because we got it on Jan 1, we also got the corner kiosk.
Yes.
This was the other thing that enticed me into going ahead and buying the set now because I knew one day I would end up paying $100 for this little corner kiosk that I could have gotten for free. It also came with 8 minifigures that were exclusive to this set.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
6.
6?
Oh, wait, there's a mannequin.
Caleb.
There's a mannequin down
There's
here.
a mannequin in the store. There's also, that's only 7. The clockworker. Where's the clockworker? He's making clocks.
Yep.
The clocks are a little off in town, so he's busy right now. He'll join us a little bit later in the review. So, as with all modulars, it's 3 stories. You can break it apart, you can get in, you can play with it. We're going to do a flyby of all of that. Also interlocks, and it's a corner build, which it's always super fun when we get corner builds for our modular city.
Yes.
And honestly, like, most of my modulars that I personally own are corners. So when poor old dad is all alone in an empty city, I'm just going to have a bunch of corner buildings that are all locked together while you're in your Lego heaven, miles and miles and miles away from me.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm just playing with Tudor Corner in the corner garage. All right, we're going to jump in and SPUPLR this thing. We look at 5 key areas of every Lego set. We score each of those areas between 1 to 10. Caleb and I average our scores. We add them up, and we get a total SPUPLR score out of 50.
We're not saying that again.
The first area we're going to look at is the visual design of the Lego set. Aesthetically, how does the set look? Does it come together? Is it what it's supposed to be? This set is called the Tudor Corner, and there's actually two different plays on this happening. One is that there's a Tudor architecture style, right? Which is noted by some of these beams and the way the building is painted and laid out. It is a Tudor architecture style. The other is that there's a Tudor watch company, and there's a watchmaker in here. So the watchmaker has the tie-in to Tudor watches. The house has the tie-in to the Tudor architecture style. And they both come together in a visual feast. Restaurant feast. See what I did there?
Yep.
It dressed up for the occasion. Haberdashy, Taylor. And it's in front of us as a beautiful Lego set.
And it swept us away.
It swept us away. It truly
did.
swept us away. So to me, this is a beautiful Lego set. Visually, it conquers everything it needs to do. You put this in your city, your eyes are going right to it. You're going to see countless fine details. The way that the front has this swooped angle on it. The way the plants are built on. This wood beaming and paint and stucco at the top. And it's just...
It's insane.
It's scrumptious. Caleb, what do you think about this set visually?
I mean, I think it's absolutely insane. Some of the pieces that they use to get the technique of the roof and like how it's just the white and black alternating is amazing. There's actually a new piece on the roof that goes into one of the curves of the roof, like one of the peaks, which is really cool. I mean, I just think it's absolutely stunning. And it's always a plus having everything being a print, which is absolutely amazing.
That's right. No stickers in this, so there's no wonky stickers on my side of the fence here. It's just... This actually goes with the corner kiosk. It's just a beautiful, beautiful Lego set. The back is a little more plain.
Yep.
But again, if you think about it, this is a corner building. So this is going to be butt up against a building, and this is going to be butt up against a building.
Yep.
Get it? Tudor, butt up against a building. So you can't expect there to be a significant design there. But the front corner, I mean...
It's insane.
It speaks for itself.
Yeah.
It is, in my opinion, a perfect 10. Unless Caleb can rebuttal that, I don't even think there's any averaging to do in here. Visually, this set's a 10 to me. Caleb, what is it to you?
You know, I'm actually going to have to fight you on this. It's also a 10. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
just kidding.
He got me. So visual design, easy peasy, perfect 10.
Perfect.
Next up, we're going to visit the minifigures. And Caleb, let's pull Mr. Watchmaker out.
Okay.
Because he can't hide away the entire video.
Hey, bud, I'm sorry. Your appearance is on the show. Okay, sorry, little guy.
You've been requested here, Mr. Watchmaker.
Hello.
Oh, I must ask you a question, Caleb. What do you think about the minifigures that we have?
I absolutely think they're amazing. I mean, I feel like everything that needs to be there is here. You've got just standard civilians. You've got somebody that's working at each tier of the Tudor Corner. I mean, I think that the figures are perfect. They don't need to be any more detailed than they are. I don't know. I don't think that a lot of the components that make them up are exclusive. They might be. I just think that they're great, and they don't need to be any better or any worse. Like, I think they're great. So.
You say they're standard civilians, but what if one of them was in military service in Europe?
Yeah, I have no idea. We'll have to ask.
We don't know their backstories.
Hey, were any of you guys...
What if one of
military?
them is here on a work visa, working in the haberdashery or the restaurant?
I mean, it's very possible.
I mean, we don't know that they're standard, but we think they are. I should note, if you're looking in front of us, this old chap here with the little side ponytail, she actually goes with the corner kiosk.
Yep.
So she is not in the lineup. There's some really neat elements at play.
Yeah.
This one lady here with the pink umbrella, her hat is also the same hat that was found on the Orient Express.
Yes, it actually notes that in the book.
Does it really?
Yeah.
It is like quintessential Europe. It is perfect. It's the Gilded Age. Not just Europe, it's like a Gilded Age cap. I love it.
Yeah.
The street sweep, he kind of reminds me of the guy from Mary Poppins.
Okay.
What is the street sweep's name?
He sweeps streets?
Yeah, look.
It actually works perfectly.
The chimney sweep. I don't even remember the guy's name for Mary Poppins, but he's got a cool little collar with a hood on it. So really, really fun designs. You get a couple of kitty cats. These kitty cats live in this lady's apartment.
Yep.
One of them hangs out by the dumpster out back, so I don't know what kind of nefarious Tom and Jerry stuff he's into. So you do get a good amount of minifigures. Mm-hmm. So there are some really neat elements included with this. I even love the prints that they chose.
Yeah.
They are all uniquely combined to the set, of course. But they're really good prints. They're not just chintzy, cheap prints, in my opinion. Like, they're really well done.
Yep.
So I am a big fan of the minifigs. I think they gave us a good variety with this. This seems to be an average number of minifigs for a modular set.
Okay, yeah,
It feels like. I can't think of anyone else they should have included. No. You have the watchmaker, you have the haberdashery guy, you have a store mannequin, you have someone working in the cafe, you have someone living upstairs, and you've got a couple customers. So, I mean, there's nothing blow you away wild about them. But they're really good figs. Yeah. So, give me your vote, because I'm still kind of navigating this here.
I mean, I don't know if this is true to the SPUPLR, but I think there's nothing wrong with them, so I have to give him a 10. Like, there's nothing wrong with them, so I should never give him a blemish score.
You're right. So that's where I'm stuck at. I feel weird giving basic figs a 10. Like, the Simpsons figs are custom molded. They obviously get 10s, right? Yeah. Like, Neil obviously is a great fig. And these are just basic city figs. So I hesitate to give it a 10.
Yeah, but you've got to have them.
But for the integrity of the city set, there's not going to be a crazy mold. No. And I am judging the figs as it relates to the set. And I have to give it a 10.
Yes! Perfect score.
Wow.
20 is the score right now.
All right, from minifigs, we're venturing on to build experience. This is super fun because we both built this together. So our process of building was we would tear open the first bag number together and we would build till we were done. Some bags Caleb would finish first, some bags I would finish first. Whoever finished first would sit and wait, and then we'd rip the next bag. So we were literally building in tandem this set.
Yes.
It has been a long time since I built a modular set. The last new in-box modular that I built was the corner garage. Since then, I have built Palace Cinema, but that was a pre-owned set, so it wasn't an authentic build experience. Yeah. So this was my first modular build for a long time, and if you think of how quickly modulars advance, I was blown away by some of the techniques in building this. The way these patterns and designs came together up top were silly. Yeah. Just so cool. The way the roofs built together were so amazing.
Yeah, it's like no other. It's crazy.
The way the building, it's a square building, right? And they built this angle out of it. Yeah. I mean, I can't say enough about the build experience. When you look at the back, we talked about it. This is a plain wall. Plain walls sometimes can feel repetitive, but on the inside, you're not building just a plain wall as you build up. So even that was a really fun experience. There's lots of details. The way the interior staircase came together. Yeah. It was a ridiculous number of elements that went into building one staircase inside of this. But the way it was executed was unbelievable.
Beautiful.
I literally can't say enough. There were no issues. I didn't run into any issues. No, I take that back. I did have issues, but it was my own fault.
Same here.
There were some of these little builds on the front. It could get a little confusing about which way the pillars needed to be turned. And if you built it wrong, it all fell apart. But I actually kind of like a challenge.
I know, yeah.
When I'm building, so then, it's not copy-paste. So how'd you feel about the build? I stole all your thunder.
I mean, I thought it was absolutely amazing. To comment on the walls, it's like, even if it was, you're just building a plain wall, it's not as repetitive because they have to make it sturdy. It's not just like, okay, I'm just stacking up the wall and you don't even have to look at the steps, just know what you're going to do. It's all alternating. So when you look at it, it's just this beautiful, like you can see the actual brickwork in it, which is amazing. I mean, I don't know if it adds to build experience, but having prints is just amazing. Like, it's not the stress of having to put on stickers and stuff, and it looks better as a final product. I mean, it was so much fun to build.
So, my only fault in the build, and this is super minor, is that there's a lot of little bits all over it. Mm-hmm. And the bits themselves are actually really secure, but there are some, like these little flower pots are paintbrushes, and they're just a little flimsy. Now, even this clock, right? It looks like this clock would just pop off. You see this? Look at this.
It's insane.
Even this clock, they ran a bar into it. Olden days, you're just putting the Lego on the snot brick and it's done. They put a pole through it to make it rigid. So it's not even that delicate. So while the little things can twist a little bit and you have to align them, they're not really popping off all that often either. So it is goodness.
Yeah, and I also note again on the back, there is some foliage that runs up the top, or on the back, and it was usually, foliage is really stressful and not fun to build. It wasn't hard. Like, the instructions were great in showing how it goes. None of it was really repetitive because of the way you build it. It's like... And
they used the little barred leaves so that it would stick into the bricks. So, again, Lego designers are thinking so far in advance now on how to make these rigid and solid. I am concerned about the 3 posts, but even these posts...
They're wired with Technic.
Yeah, they're Technic. So the only risk...
They're not coming out.
...really is the handcuffs. So,
and those are sturdy, too. Like, none of that's coming out.
So, all right, Caleb, where are you at on this? From a build experience, structure?
I can't believe I'm saying this. It's another 10. It's the perfect set. It's like... It's amazing.
Caleb? Mm-hmm. I'm giving it a 10, too.
Yes! This is insane! This is
unprecedented. Yeah. We're at 30 out of 50 points right now.
Nuts.
All right, next up is playability and functions. As you know, with any modular set, it will come apart, right? And I want to walk you guys through, floor by floor, what's inside of each of these and then give you a few thoughts on it. So first off is the roof. You've got the street sweep and a couple of chimneys, and the book actually tells us about how these chimneys are sealed off and not active anymore. So they are truly aesthetic, which it is interesting then as to why we get a chimney sweep. I guess you just want to keep it clean.
So actually it does tell you in the book that he wanted to keep them there for aesthetic just so he could work on them. I guess it's a little hobby that he wants to do.
Then when you take off the first layer of the roof, you get into Cat Lady's apartment. She has these really cool terrariums and a cat hanging out on the post. She is chilling on her sofa looking at the bookcase. Again, there's prints in here. You've got a really, really neat layout. When you take her apartment off to look at the next level, we come down to the watchmaker. The watchmaker is diligently working away on some watches, and there's clocks set up in here. And every single clock in this entire build is set to the same time, with the exception of one. The actual main clock has the wrong time on it. And I called Lego out on this as I was building it, and then I read in the book that it was supposed to be that way. There's even a little coat closet back here in the back, and inside of the coat closet, there's a vacuum cleaner, and there's that staircase I was telling you about. So now let's look at the bottom floor. In the bottom floor, we have the haberdashery, the seamstress guy that is working on creating all of his creations, a little mannequin, and then in the front, we have this beautiful little cafe with a European flair to it. It is such a fun, unique little build in there. And then a kitchen. The kitchen is pretty hard to access, except for this little wall right here will come out, and give you full access in here. So LEGO designers were truly thinking in advance on this one. Caleb, as we've kind of talked through and shown this on a high level, what other little things are in this from a usability, playability standpoint?
So actually on the staircase, under these stairs right here, there's a bathroom. And it's actually pretty hard to get to, but again, they're always thinking ahead. And there's a little thing right here where you can pull up the staircase, if you don't break it, and you can see the bathroom and access it, which is amazing, which is another function, and it's very playable, and it's just really awesome.
Yeah, so when you look at playability and function, obviously there's no crazy functions built into it. It's not like Brick Bank where you've got a chute you can drop people through, or some of the other like Corner Garage, you've got the lift that goes up and down. It is just a playhouse if you look at it from that standpoint. Here's the problem. Modulars with big hands like mine, it's just hard to get in and move around. It's not anyone's fault. It's just the nature of LEGO, right? You're building tight areas. So when there's no wild function to it, it does lose some of its interactivity to me. It's absolutely gorgeous inside, as you saw. It's fully detailed, it's built out well, but it's not the most playable set. It's just not. There's not a lot of space. You even saw, as Caleb pulled the stairs up here, they're kind of hard to pull out to get into the bathroom. In the closet in the apartment where the vacuum is, I mean, forget about it. You're not getting the vacuum in and out. Like, it's just not going to happen. There is a little trap door that will help you pop it out. So, it's beautiful, right? If you want to play with little minifigs, oh, I'm going up the stairs. Ah! You can play with minifigs on it, but it's limited in its play. I know we don't buy these to play with, right? Most of the time we buy these to put in our city and look at. But we're talking about playability and functions, and that's my fault. So for that, I can't give it a perfect 10. It's going to be decent, but I can't give it a perfect 10. Where are you falling on playability and function, Caleb?
See, I'm stuck here. There's so many good things that you can play with about it, like with the staircase, and that they're thinking ahead, and that you can't get into the kitchen, but they make that wall where it comes out. It's really hard for me. I'm going to give it a 7, because, and that's not at all an insult to the set, it's just from the SPUPLR perspective, it's about play, and there's not a ton to play with. There's nothing wrong with the set, it's not designed fully to be played with. But, I mean, that's what I can get.
I was going to actually give it higher than that.
You were?
I was going to give it an 8.
That's what I was bouncing with. Let's do both 8s, and this averages an 8.
All right, so let's give it an 8 for playability. Because
38.
Because you can interact with it, right?
Yes, absolutely.
It is what it's designed to be from a play standpoint. Mm-hmm. It's just, it's not the biggest, easiest to put your hands in it and play with it.
Yep.
It's more posable than playable. Actually, 7.5.
7.5?
Yeah. Okay. I think 7.5 is fair.
That's great.
All right. Last up is value. Mm-hmm. Value is not just price per part, but it is, was it worth what you paid for it? Do you look back and go, man, that was a good buy? Or do you look back and be like, oh, I shouldn't have paid that much for this Lego set? This was $229.99.
$230.
That equates to 6 pennies a part.
What?
6 cents a part on average. And then if you work in the GWP that we got, that I know I can't officially work in, 6 cents a part on a set this size, that's not like, oh, the world map where it's just a bunch of studs everywhere. I mean, we got 2 studs sitting at the table right now. But this is solid. It's printed. It is a well thought out Lego set. It's well designed. I have not looked at this and gone, that was not worth $229. When you look at the spectrum, most modulars are in that $200 to $230 range over the past couple of years. Mm-hmm. So that this is still at that price point, that's a gift to us, Lego community. Like, Lego, you did us a solid. You didn't toot on this one. You were so kind to us in the pricing and design of this set. So I feel like there's only one way I can go on that. But what do you feel? Money is tough. right? You're younger. You don't make as much. This was part of your Christmas gift. How do you feel about your Christmas money going to this?
I mean, I would never think that I wasted any money on this. I feel like it's exactly worth what it is. There's something to be said about the value of having fun building it. It's definitely a lot less stressful when you're not trying to put on stickers. We gave it a 10 on the build experience, and there's value to that. 'Cause, I mean, that's so much fun.
Yep.
And just, I have to have every modular. It's a goal of mine now. There's something worth of that just to have every modular for modular collectors. I mean, I feel like it's the perfect price point.
So there's only one way I think we can go on this final score for this set then, Caleb. And let's just do it. 3, 2, 1, 10.
With a 0 behind it.
10.
10.
Wow.
48. No, 47.5.
47.5. Is this the highest SPUPLR ever?
I think it is either just a tad bit higher or a tad bit lower than Battle Bus. I don't know. It's like right there.
I mean, I feel really bad about dinging playability because I wanted this to be the perfect Lego set.
Still hasn't happened.
But we know that perfection is a metric that we may never achieve. And once we put a perfect set out there, then...
Can't be beat.
What do? We have to retire SPUPLR at that point in time. So
don't say it.
Hey, thanks for hanging out with us today. I hope that this was not a stink bomb in your feed. And if we didn't pass gas into your feed, I hope that you'll click subscribe for us right now. It would mean a lot to us to know that we're creating things that you enjoy. You came back, you checked us out again. If you've been with us a long time, thanks so much. I don't know why, but thanks so much. We're so grateful for you hanging out with us in the Lego office. We hope that you go out there in the week ahead. Don't lay any stink bombs with the way you live, but build beauty in the world around you. Fill it with a pleasant aroma of your life.
Yes.
A life that gives more. A life that
does more.
A life that shares more.
And a life that loves more.
And remember, these smiles, these right here,
they're truly contagious.
Give more, do more, share more, and love.